We all know that corn is king, but soybeans deserve way more credit than what they get. Soybean grain is protein rich, and protein is made up of amino acids, which is made up of nitrogen. Did you know that nitrogen is the #1 limiting crop nutrient worldwide, even in our natural systems? Which is odd when you consider that greater than 80% of the atmosphere is comprised of nitrogen gas. But nitrogen gas is not plant available. So when it comes to grass crops like wheat or corn, we apply nitrogen fertilizers, but we don't have to do that to soybeans because they are what's called a legume. Legumes have the ability to form a symbiotic relationship with bacteria that's naturally occurring in the soil. They form what's called a nodule, which is where these bacteria live and fix atmospheric nitrogen into plant form in exchange from sugars from the soybean plant.
All right, good morning. It is Monday and there's still no Land tractor pickup sitting there. So they called and said they had a new combine come in. They had to get off the trailer for the guys so you could get going. So it is what it is. They're probably just holding me up, but it is what it is. So we are going and putting tile in. We're putting a crossover in to get to a field a lot easier instead of going around field. We're going to be able to go straight in with the sprayer and the combine and stuff like that, so we don't have to drive all the way around. We bought 2 of them. We're going to put one back here and then another one on a different field that we can't get in with the draper that has wheat. So pretty corn, pretty corn, pretty corn. Let's hope it keeps going. Well, we got one in. Now we're gonna go put the other one in. We decided instead of doing bolting them together, we had 2 20s and 2 10s. We don't need much to get across these fields, so that way we got 3 tiles instead of 2. We were gonna make them 30 foot, but really they're out in the open, and I don't have to fold the sprayer up, and the combine can get over them as long as one dual inside duals get on it. So that way we got 3 tiles we can put in instead of just 2. And they were $4,000 for them tiles. That shows you how much everything's went up. They were 20 some hundred a year and a half ago, 2 years ago when we bought them and put them in over at another farm. So they doubled in price in a year and a half, 2 years. So that shows you how much everything else is going up. So that's why we decided to use them so we can have 3 crossovers instead of just 2. So we're gonna go put the second one in now, and then the farm that I got corn on, we're gonna bolt them 2 together because we just need a spot to get over with the combine, because if we don't, we gotta drive all the way around the field and it's a pain in the butt. So we're gonna wait till we get corn out and bolt them 2 together and put them in, and then get a load of clay hauled in, put over it, so we don't have to drive all the way around the fields with the combine. We can just go right across from one field to the back section. So it's actually going to work out pretty good, pretty good. Well, I don't see a John Deere pickup sitting up here anywhere. They told me he was going to be here. I don't see him. This is day number 6. This is how great their service is. Day number 6. He'll be there. All right, well, Brian showed up from John Deere, so we got the drill right. It's amazing. I know. I'll give a land tractor a hard time, and they deserve it, but it is amazing how a John Deere guy can show up and something you've been struggling with for a couple days, he can 30 minutes have it right. So thank you, Brian. I certainly do appreciate it. My biggest problem was just him showing up. It took him 4 or 5 days, but he explained to me they're so busy. You know, they ain't got a lot of help. And a lot of people are getting a lot of combines ready and tractors ready, so I understand. But we got her. She's right here. We got her out of the way. Him and my brother are working on the combine now, so I'm gonna come over here, and they told me to lock her up and then lock all the ranks up with the valves, and then I'm gonna put her in the barn because she's been sitting out way too many days that I want. I don't like my tractor sitting outside. I definitely don't like a planting unit sitting outside either. And you just lock these valves and it holds all the rungs up on her. So I'm gonna go ahead and put her away because I don't know if you can see or not, but it looks like it's gonna storm, and I really hope it does, because this right here is that little flooded spot where the barn things always run off. Got the tubes out here to go to the ditch. But the corn is beautiful, and I want to keep it that way. We definitely need some of this rain. Let's hope that we get some of this rain right here, because the rain we got the other day, it didn't really help much. I mean, it helped, but it didn't help much. So let me go ahead and put this thing away. My rows, 48 rows. When I'm rolling with her and they are accurate, because when one blocks up, that son of a bitch will scream at you like crazy. So we got her set, or we got a starting point anyway. We've never actually drilled beans with this thing. We put wheat in. So this year we're gonna do some beans with her, and we got her our starting point anyway. So it's so much easier with the planter. I just punch in 180,000 and it does 180,000. Back in the back here, I gotta adjust my row clutch, and that gets my settings to the number that I want, but you gotta figure everything out 10 times harder. You go by the pound. Well, it's the same with all drills. You go by the pound and not the seed count. You know, with the planter, I can go by the seed count. Planter, I can go by the seed count, and it's 150,000 times easier than the drill. But I haven't pulled a drill in a long time for planting beans, so you got to get back to being in the swing of it. But we got the baler ready. We got the other 8335R. She's tucked back there. She's ready. I did do some spot spraying today with her around some inrows of some corn that hadn't quite closed up. The rest of the field had closed up, but the inrows hadn't closed up. And a little bit of grass, and I've known in the past that the grass really affects your yield. So I went ahead and I did, I think, 3 different fields, and then Mr. Curdy wanted his duck pond sprayed, so I sprayed it, killed the grass in there. So, but everything, get the combine done, everything will be ready for wheat season. Drill is ready to go, loader's ready to go, Bobcat's ready to go. Well, it's definitely raining everywhere but here. We definitely need to get that rain. Just keep coming this way, please. Please come this way. See, that's the sky this way. That's the sky that way. It's raining. Damn, I wish I could have got that wind. It was blowing harder earlier. That's a good thing.
It's blowing the damn doors right off of the barn. Damn. Damn.
Yeah, it just went through.
What was that, a tornado? Jesus. Good Lord. Just about blew the doors off the damn barn. Oh, you can't see it. About ripped the damn door right off the barn.
Well, we're leaving. We got the drill done, combine done, and we lived through a tornado. Now we do have a little bit of corn, a little birdhouse over. The wheat's flat back there. Just knocked a little bit over here and there. Not nothing terrible. It kind of went through that way, through them woods. There's trees down, and all the telephone poles halfway down this road right here, completely on the ground. The power companies are out there. I'll see if I can ride down there and take a video of that. But that wind was blowing, them doors were coming off, and we were, I mean, that wind, you know, Brian, the John Deere guy, and my brother with me, and we ain't never experienced, you could just hear it coming. And I don't know how it, you'll see the video. We didn't get a great video of it because we were actually underneath the combine. And I don't know where to rate, as you can see, the wheat is all flat. You know, when something like that happens, you don't know. Well, that field right there is, that corn right there is all down. I don't think it snaps, so I hope when the sun comes out, it kind of gets it back up. So beautiful corn, and then look what happens with Mother Nature. That corn's all sideways. I'll ride over there and we'll see it. But that was definitely a tornado to come through, and there's poles leaning everywhere. I'll show you here in a second. There's one pole leaning. Right there, see, it's definitely a leaning. And then there's 3 or 4 poles that are, I think there's 3 or 4 of them that are leaning, and there's 3 or 4 of them that are actually on the ground. I'm thinking that corn, that's a 75-day corn too. Here, I'll zoom in, they got the roads all shut down. There's all the poles down, here's all the corn that's leaning. A lot of it's leaning. I mean, I ain't never experienced stuff like that. None of it's snapped off, but we're hoping that it'll come back up when the sun comes out and the weather. There's a lot of other farmers that call me around here. They got some corn down too. So, hey, if it doesn't make it, we got insurance. But man, that corn was, I think it'll come back up. It's not on the ground, it's just laid a little bit sideways. We had that problem last year in our 115-day corn. When we had a big storm come through, it happened like that, and it came back up. So I'm just glad it wasn't any taller. I mean, it could have been worse. I'll show you this field right here is lean. The corn's not, you know, it's tall, but it ain't tall to where it's, you know, that 10, 12 foot corn that is gonna snap. As you can see, it's just leaning. I mean, that wind was bad. I mean, I don't give a shit about the corn. I'm just glad we all made out all right, because we did have a, I mean, it came through. We were hiding underneath that combine. But let's hope this corn comes back up a little bit. Like I say, it's just leaning a little bit. It's not snapped. But these right here, the fields that I was standing in the other day telling you how tall it was, now it's got a little lean to it. But we made out all right. I'm glad. We were underneath that combine. There were 3 grown men underneath that combine trying to figure out what the hell to do. Anyway, that's the video for today. And like, subscribe, share, I guess. I don't know what else to say, but we made it through a tornado. First one I've ever experienced in my life. So, and that's the last one I want to experience. No more. Everybody, all the power's out. I mean, there's not power anywhere. They got telephone poles down some other roads that are over. And then they don't have power all the way to Public Landing. I mean, that's probably 7 miles from here. They don't even have power down there, so who knows what the rest of the storm did for everywhere. So we'll see.